driving the British Formula 3 Series. Arie Luyendyk won the fastest 500 ever in 1990. In 93, he was the pole sitter. This is his 11th 500-mile race. When he married Mika in 1980, he already had 8 years of racing experience. This year is the 10th anniversary of Danny Sullivan's Spin and Win. He returns for his 12th start after sitting out last year's race. In 1980, when not driving Can-Am or Formula Atlantic, he was an avid outdoorsman. Bobby Rahal has competed in the Indy 500 on 12 occasions. In half of those, he has finished in the top 10, winning in 1986, driving for Jim Truman, who died just a few days after that win. Together, he and Truman rolled up quite a record as a racing team. Bobby's been racing for 22 years. The most experienced driver in the field is the pole sitter, Scott Brayton, with 13 previous starts. In 1985, he held the single lap record. His pole position is a dream come true for Scott and his dad, Lee, a former driver himself.
Headed through Gasoline Alley with the entire Newman Haas team. Paul Tracy, his wife Tara in front of us. Here's Sandy and Michael Andretti, Mario Andretti. Michael, you've come close so many times at winning this 500-mile event. A lot of people say you're the favorite today. Is this your best chance to win this race?
I think it's one of them for sure. You know, there's been a few other years where I think we were in pretty good positions, but I feel good about it. The car's been running great all month, so we'll see.
And over here, Mario, we can't ignore you. I know the emotions must be just awful right now for the first time not being in this field as a retired racer.
Well, no question. You know, it's certainly a different feeling for me because I always felt quite cool, you know, walking out like we're doing now. But now all of a sudden, you know, I feel some anxieties that I haven't experienced before. But, you know, leave it all up to Mike. I have full confidence in him, and Godspeed for all these guys.
Mario, you're always cool. Jack?
Gary, it's awfully hard with a crowd of 400,000 to find a place to gather your thoughts, but Bobby Rahal has done it right next to his car up against the outside wall. Bobby, 86 a victory. What do you think it'll take for you to get to victory lane and make your second Indy 500 win?
Well, a good, well-balanced car throughout the field run and really staying out of trouble, I guess. You know, last year we managed to avoid a bunch of incidents in front. I just hope we can do it again if we have to. And the car feels good. I just, you know, you just hope everything hangs together, and if it does, I think we have a good chance.
He likes his chances. Let's go to Jerry Punch.
Well, pole sitter Scott Brayton, along with teammate Arie Luyendyk, will lead the fastest field in Indy history to the green flag. And, Scotty, got to ask you, what concerns you most, all the congestion at the start or the challenge of completing 500 miles?
Well, they both concern me, but the challenge between the 500 miles will be the most difficult one to master, and I think we're going to have a great start and a great race.
Let's ask your teammate, Arie. Arie, how about the start? Have you and Scotty worked something out as teammates at the beginning?
Well, we're looking for a safe start, obviously, and whoever gets the corner first, gets to the corner first, has it.
All right, no deals here. First speed to the corner in turn one will lead the first lap, guys.
Well, the clock continues to count to the start of the engines. Last year, the 85 winner Danny Sullivan spent the day high over turn 4, the northwest turn, working with our announcing team. He was the one to make the call as Emerson Fittipaldi hit the wall while in the lead. Emo had a lap on everyone but Little Al and was uncertain about Junior's true position. So when Junior passed him, he picked up the tempo to get him back and drove it right into the wall. Now in turn 4, nearly everyone is at their seat. The pre-race ceremonies here are very traditional and immensely popular. Most fans are seated an hour or more before the start just to watch the preparation. Fly, we can race at Indianapolis. The Goodyear Blimp Spirit of Akron providing the aerial coverage of today's race over the speedway. Last year's champion, not in this race. Let's go to Gary Gerald.
And it's been since way back in the early 80s that he hasn't been in this race, and I know this has got to be a terrible feeling right now. How are you handling this emotion?
Well, Gary, it just feels very empty. You know, we tried our best with the Marlboro Team Penske and we just came up short, and now, you know, race days come, and I just feel very empty inside.
You watch it from the suite?
Yeah, we will. We'll go up and join the team and you know, be a team today. So.
And we look forward to seeing you at Milwaukee next week. Thanks, Junior.
You bet. We'll be there.
Paul?
Sad that Little Al is not in the race. Alessandro Zampedri as he waits for the start of the Indianapolis 500. The clock continues to count. There's Michael Andretti. and, of course, the front row team.
Adrian Fernandez knows what it's like to make this walk out to his race car because he's a sophomore driver. Christian Fittipaldi experiencing it for the first time in his career, a rookie in competition for the Indianapolis 500. Danny Sullivan, who could ever forget the spin to win where Mario Andretti thought he was going to win his second Indianapolis 500. You know, in just a couple of minutes, Scott Brayton will strap himself in this sleek race car and begin to run from the pole position at speeds in excess of 240 miles per hour. Now, the car is very sleek, side pods. The idea is when you're running at 240 miles an hour, you need wings, front and back, to be able to keep the car on the ground. The tires, you've got to change them between 7 and 8 times during pit stops. No need for gasoline. The car runs on methanol. But miles per gallon, how about only 1.7 miles per gallon? Now, what about 500 miles in just 2.5 hours? That'd be like if you got in your car in Washington, D.C. and drove all the way to Detroit, Michigan. Now, the cost of this entire package to compete in the Indianapolis 500, how about $500,000? The horsepower in the engine, 900 horsepower, 6 times what you have beneath the hood of your car. What's the cost to repair the car and get it ready for the next race after 500 miles? You aren't going to believe this. $200,000 additional. So for a driver, it's not only his office, it's his meal ticket to fame, fortune, and hopefully a trip to victory lane. Robbie Gordon finally making his way out to the field as he looks for his first victory ever in the greatest spectacle in racing. Michael Andretti starting to get out to his car, but some drivers are actually beginning to strap themselves into their car, and there's a reason for this. One of the things that drivers wish to do is begin to dial out the crowd, the people, as Lynn St. James is trying to do right now. St. James enjoys trying to visualize what a race lap around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway would be. Jacques Villeneuve also attempting to do the same thing. Visualization is so very, very important. And now let's pick up the track public address system with the man who's been calling the events here, Tom Carnegie.
To the starting line, presenting the Purdue University All-American Band, joined by the lovely and talented Florence Henderson. They join in presenting our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Florence Henderson.
We'll return with more of the Indianapolis 500 after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Wide world of sports.
honoring the Memorial Day weekend, the larger purpose of this weekend. A flyover by a B-17 and the rendering of taps.
Commemorating the 50th anniversary of World War II. We celebrate the 50th year of the conclusion of that worldwide conflict. After that, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway began again under the Holman George banner.
Race fans, during their 50 years of ownership, the Holman George family have developed many, many traditions here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway that we enjoy taking part in each and every year. Celebrating his 25th year. Once again, it's time to hear Back Home Again in Indiana. And here's Mr. Jim Neighbors. Back home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the gleaming candlelight still burning bright through the sycamores for me. The newborn hay sends out its fragrance through the fields I used to roam. When I think about the moonlight on the Wabash, how I long for my Indiana home.
And let's go racing. We take you to the head of the line